So let us start off with thread synchronization concept. Thread synchronization or thread safe. Okay, so this concept is called either thread synchronization or thread safe. Okay, so what do you mean by synchronization? Tell me. What do you mean by synchronization or sync? Okay, so generally where we use this term sync. Hmm? See, there are two friends, but they are not that close to each other. Just they know their names from the same class as such. But those two friends, let's say there is both are in very much hungry, right? There is one chicken biryani in front of them, right? So who wants to grab first? Both will be fighting for that, right? So unless the other situation is like both are two good friends and they are in sync. Okay, so usually you say, right, this is person one and person two. Let's say there is only one biryani. So what you do generally, if they are not in sync, they'll both end up in fighting. Correct. So if they are in sync, if let's say this fellow says I want to eat, okay, so this fellow, okay, fine, you have it, I will wait for the next one, it will come in another 2 hours. Okay, fine, I will wait, because both are in sync. You understand? Sync array. They are very best friends. Yeah, they are always in sync. Likewise, okay, you understand? So sync means what? Understanding between these persons is so good, right? So likewise, if there is only one ticket, okay, so they have to go to movie, right? Yeah, okay, fine, if you want to go, you please go, not an issue, something like that we say. Am I right or wrong? So sync means what? There is a good relation, there is a good healthy relation. Okay, right? So likewise, now you also have to ensure a good relation between the threads. That is nothing but concept of thread synchronization. So what happens, sir, if there is no good relation? You see, there is a logic. Okay, so this is very important logic. Every thread has to execute. Okay, now we have T1 thread here, and we have T2 thread here, right? So T1 and T2 threads are executing some other logic in the flow, and they have come to execute now this important logic block. Okay, right. See, T1 has come to this extent, and T2 also has come to this extent, and now this logic, who should execute first? T1 should execute or T2 should execute? So both of them are fighting, saying that I will go first, I will go first. Okay. So this concept, so this happens. Okay. So to clear this ambiguity, we people have given for us a concept of thread synchronization, wherein there is a concept of locking the resource, right? So locking the resource, you can apply lock on a resource. Resource means what? Here logic, that block is a resource. Okay, fine. How can I apply lock? You can, there are a couple of methods. Okay, acquire and release. Okay, acquire means closing the lock, closing the door, locking your home. Release means unlocking your home. Okay, so how do we call this? With these are from which class or which method? These are a lock class, methods. Okay, let us say these are lock class methods. L1 dot acquire, L1 dot release. So L1 is equals to lock. So where is lock coming from? Lock is a class present in threading module. So I have to put like this, right? Before putting this line, what should I do? Import threading is what I have to do in my logic. Correct? Import threading. Correct. So these are the statements which we come across in our coming program. So basically, what the point you have to understand is, so T1 thread has applied lock on this logic. Okay. So here acquire, okay, acquired, and T1 thread entered inside processed, okay, and it released lock. Okay. So it released. The moment it released, automatically, now till the time T2 is doing what? T2 is in waiting mode. Okay. So now T2 will acquire the lock. So see, either of one thread only will execute your logic. So that is what ensuring the concept of thread synchronization. Now T2 is coming inside, T2 is executing, and then T2 will release the resource. Excuse me. So you have to release it. If you don't release it, another another thread cannot able to apply the lock, right? So what is this concept leading to? This concept is a safe, but it is a time taking process. It degrades the performance of the application, right? Because two threads, I'll tell you how it degrades the performance of the application with a simple example. You see, okay, so you all know. See, the example which I'm going to tell is very funny, and that is the most sync example with our thread synchronization. Have you been to ICU anytime? ICU, intensive care unit in hospitals. Okay, guys, have you been to ICU anytime? See, how does, so imagine you are in at a tuition. Imagine, so you are, okay. So 6 p.m. is what your tuition is done. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to come to, you know, you have committed to your friends saying that uh, by 6:30 we will reach theater. Okay, so you have opted, you have promised that you will join with them for a movie. Okay, fine. Okay, so but your mother called you and mother told that, see, grandpa is admitted in hospital, it's been more than 1 week, so you have to go and meet grandpa. Okay, and then only you go to movie is what your mom is telling. Okay, right. So from your uh, training institute to hospital, okay, so that will take 10 minutes of time, and from hospital to theater it will take another 10 minutes of time. Imagine, okay, journey time I am saying. Okay, so you and your sister or you and your brother, okay, you both have to you both have committed to your friends that you are going to come. Okay, 10 minutes. So tell me, 6 o'clock you started from your tuition, and you have to reach theater by okay, you have to reach theater by 6:30. So how much amount of time you can spend in ICU? Minimum, see, maximum 10 minutes only, right? But how does the concept of ICU works? Tell me. How does the concept of ICU works? Tell me. So let us say here, one second. See, you are there, okay, along with you your sister is also there. Okay, so see, both of you, sorry. Okay, so both of you wants to get into your ICU room, correct? But what is the methodology we follow in ICU to get into ICU? So ICU, imagine there are beds like this. Okay, so imagine your grandpa admitted in ICU. Okay, just for fun sake, don't take it to heart. Okay, so your grandpa is admitted in ICU like this. Okay, now your mom instructed you to go and visit your grandpa. Okay, and then only go to movie is what your mom is telling. Okay, so first this is brother and then this is sister. Okay. So sister first, what is the concept? Warden will be there. You have to take the pass, and then only you have to get inside, and you have to meet your grandpa. Okay, so grandpa is lying on the bed here. Okay, so what you are doing is you are just saying, "Grandpa, how are you?" and all, right? So you are here. Okay, right. So minimum 10 minutes time if you don't spend in the ICU. Okay, that is not fair enough. Okay, so let us say you are spending 10 minutes. Okay, and this and then you have come out and then you will give the pass so that your brother will acquire the pass. He will get inside and he will come and see concept in ICU. Two people cannot enter into the ICU room. That is what it's been given. If you have you ever tried two people getting entering into the ICU? That warden, security person will kick you back, right? They will allow only one person. So now second time brother has come. Brother is also talking to grandpa, and then he's also spending another 10 minutes of time, and then he's also coming out by taking that pass. Okay, right. Okay. So how much total time you have spent in the spent in the hospital? Tell me. Total we have spent 20 minutes. Instead of 10 minutes, we have to spend 20 minutes because the methodology is like that. One by one only have to see. So tell me how many minutes you are late, when you have reached your theater. You are supposed to reach 6:30, but you have reached 6:40, right? 6:40. Why? Because 10 minutes, 10 plus 20 plus 10, 6:40 was the time. So how many minutes of delay? So delay is 10 minutes. So you have understood this concept. So instead of two people, instead of one person going inside, right? If we both go, myself and my sister, or myself and my brother, we both if we go and spend 10 minutes time, we would have reached this place on time. No, sir. Yes, I agree. But the concept of ICU is being designed in such a way that only one person has to get inside, right? So that's how your execution process is happening. You reached 10 minutes late, right? Likewise in real time also, if you apply thread locking, right? So the a logic from line 1 to line 100. Okay, instead to complete this in 1 minute, so you see, your threads are executing, and this thread is stopped, and this thread is executing. Okay, and then this thread is stopped, this thread is executing. Okay, and then now both threads are getting executed, something like this. Okay, so thread synchronization is a see, point is it is safe to some extent. There are some logics you have to execute one by one thread only. So at that point in time, you have to use thread synchronization, but it undoubtedly it leads to performance degrade. Performance degrade. Okay. So I hope you have understood. Let me proceed with the example. So write couple of sentences and then let's move on. Okay, so based on the business requirement only, we have to implement this concept like ICU, right? Or a booking train. When somebody is booking train, other threads must be in waiting mode only, right? So let's go ahead and see an example. Okay, thread synchronization, import threading, import time. So class X threading dot thread. So now X class is this X thread is applying lock acquire. Okay, so before that you have to get into run method. Lc dot acquire print sister took pass and went into ICU. Okay, so you see sister seeing grandpa, sister is giving juice. Okay, sister is sharing her tour experience and sister returning pass to ICU warden. Okay, right. Now I will give a 5 or 10 seconds, sleep, because to see the difference in the output. Okay, actually no need, but to see the difference in the output. So let me maximize this. Now sister has come out. Sister applied lock on ICU, went inside, saw grandpa, and then came out. Now let's see def run self lc dot acquire. So now second thread is acquiring log, right? Print. So I'm giving line purposefully. Why? Because you will see the visual per se to see the output. Brother took pass and went into ICU. Print brother seeing grandpa. Print brother is giving biscuits. Brother asking for car keys. End of day, brothers are brothers, sisters are sisters. That girl is explaining tour experience, and this fellow is asking for car keys. Brother returning pass to ICU warden. Okay, right now you also release the log, right? Both of them are release the lock. Now you see, so lock applied, lock released, right? So basically you have to have the lock object. So I told you lock object is from lock class, is from threading module. So you have to create lock object, and then you have to call your acquire and release methods of lock class. So these methods have already defined in lock class, predefined lock class. Okay, so x1 is equals to x. Now y1 is equals to y. Now x1 dot start, y1 dot start. So what happens the moment when I do this x1 dot start, automatically first x1 run method gets execute. When run method is getting execute, it apply the lock on the resource. Okay, so it applied a lock and execute this 5 print statements, and then it has released, and then only second thread execution is starting. Okay, so if you see, if there is no lock, okay, so for I equal to 1 to 100 logic is above logic, and for I equals to 100 to 200 is below logic. Both are executing simultaneously. Right now what I have done here, I have applied lock and then executing one after the other. Okay, so this is the concept of thread synchronization. Let me see the output. Let me see the output. See, one by one only it will happen. See, sister has seen and come, and now after 5 seconds, now brother is going and seen and come. Okay, so this is what concept of thread synchronization. One after the other, your threads are getting executed. We have ensured one after the other. Okay, so that concept is called thread synchronization. Okay, so just take this program. Okay, so shall I proceed? Shall I go ahead? Okay, so let's proceed. Control N, Control S. So my thread 8. Okay, so what is this concept? We'll first discuss and then we'll proceed. Okay, so another important concept which you have to understand is deadlock. Okay, so deadlock is another important concept which you have to understand. Maybe you will get caught in interviews with this concept. So what is deadlock? See, whenever deadlock somebody is asking, you have to remember concept of concept of lovers. Okay, so just for fun sake, okay, on a lighter note, Okay, so concept of lovers is what, so there are two, uh, so so here, you know this is man, and let's say, okay, so girl, right? So basically, okay, so they both have mobiles. Okay, so this guy calls 10 times, 100 times daily. Okay, and this girl calls again another 100 times daily. Okay, so daily their job is to only talk each other. Okay, so because they are lovers, fine. One day what had happened, so they got, they fought each other, they fought each other. Okay, and now this fellow is expecting call from girl. Okay, so night it is like 10:30, 11, still watching WhatsApp call, nothing is coming. At the same time, this lady also is expecting call from this fellow, right? Again, 9:30 night, 9:30, 10:30, 11, 11:30. So that day evening they fought, and till end of day both have not sent any message to each other. Right, next day early morning, okay, 4 a.m. they got up. Okay, so individually, right, from their homes, and immediately hand on phone and checking for any message has come from my lover as such. Okay, so no message. Okay, no, 4 a.m. again, noon, evening, night, whole of day, no messages. Okay, so what is the concept is second day, next day 4 a.m. again no messages. So it's a third day, it's a third day of fighting from then. So point is what, you are under expectation of that somebody will call you, and the same time you are in the expectation of your opponent will call you, right? So you both are under impression that they will call, and you are not calling, and you're under assumption that let them call, they will call, right? So you understood, that is a very layman understanding of concept of deadlock. Now you both are into waiting mode. Am I right or wrong? If this continues, okay, relation collapse. Correct? Relation collapse. Am I right or wrong? So that let him call, let her call. So it will be years together, and end of day, okay, relation got collapsed. So likewise, okay. So what happens in deadlock is, so now let me give a proper example. See, there are two resources. Okay, let's say T1 is thread. Okay, T1 is holding resource 1. Okay, and T2 is another thread holding resource 2. Okay, holding means executing resource 1 and resource 2 respectively. So T1 is doing R1 and T2 is doing R2. Resource means what? A piece of logic, set of instructions. Okay, now means executing means what? Applied lock. Which lock? Acquire. Okay, T1 acquired R1, T2 acquired R2. Now T1 before releasing R1, T1 is expecting for R2. Okay, listen carefully. T2 before release R2, T2 is expecting for R1. Okay, right? Am I right or wrong? So this is again, if I have to explain that here ICU only. Okay, so there are two ICU rooms now this time, you imagine. Okay, so here your grandma is there. Okay, here imagine your grandpa is there. Okay, unfortunately both have got admitted. Now, sister is watching grandpa and brother is watching grandma. Okay, grandma, fine. Now he is expecting when she will come inside so that I can come to the grandpa. And this is sister, and this is brother. Okay, and sister is expecting when brother will come inside so that I can go and see grandma. See, these fellows are not coming out. They have to release. No, once they should come out from this room, then only they will understand, right? Whether these guys came out of outside or not. Correct. So these people are, one second. Okay. So these people are not coming outside of the IC room and expecting that someone will come so that I can go out. Same concept. T1 is applied lock on R1, T2 applied lock on R2, and T1 without releasing R1 expecting for R2 resource, T2 without releasing R2 resource expecting for R1. Right? This pencil is in your hand, pen is in my hand. You put pencil on table, then ask for pen, right? And I should put pen on table, then I should ask for pencil. But I am not releasing pencil and a pen, and I'm expecting pencil, and you are not releasing pencil from your hand expecting for pen. So we are both are not releasing our resources, and we cannot able to take the second resource. Ultimately, that situation is called deadlock state. Okay, so how does this deadlock occurs? Let's go and see with a small example. Okay. See, when you book a ticket, you have to apply the lock on train, and then you have to apply the lock on compartment, and then you can go ahead and book ticket, right? And when you're canceling a ticket, you have to apply lock on compartment first, and then you have to cancel it, and you have to apply lock on train, and you should update in the schedule of your train, right? So that example I would like to explain. You see, so take a couple of points. Even we synchronize the threads, there is a possibility of other problems like deadlock. When a thread has locked an object and waiting for another object to be released, right? Waiting for another object to be released by another thread, and the other thread is also waiting for the first thread to release the first object. Both the threads will continue waiting forever. This situation is called deadlock. Okay, the same concept is very much important for us in uh, very much important for us in OS also, operating system. Process resource concept will be there in operating system as well. So this is very much important there also. See, So deadlock from threading import star. Okay, second type of import I'm showing now. So L1 is equals to lock, L2 is equals to lock. So couple of locks have to be there. Okay, so you see, create a function to book tickets. I'm gonna book ticket, def book tickets, book ticket. Now L1 dot acquire. So print book ticket locked the train. Okay, you have to lock the train first, and then you have to book ticket wants to lock the lock on compartment. Okay, so yes or no, first you have to get into the train module, and then you have to get into the compartment for booking your ticket, right? So now you enter into compartment, you apply lock on your uh, compartment as well. Print book ticket locked the lo- locked the compartment. Okay, now L2 dot now come out from the L, since you logged it, you booked a ticket. Okay, L1 dot release, come out from the train also, and update saying that you booked your ticket. Okay, let me write here, ticket booked. Okay, booking ticket is done. It process is done. Okay, right. now now def cancel ticket. Okay, so function to cancel ticket, this is what function to cancel ticket. Okay, now so cancel ticket. Now L2 is acquired lock on cancel ticket locked the compartment. So first you have to lock the compartment. Print cancel ticket wants to lock on train. Okay, wants to lock on train. Print, so L1 dot acquire. Print cancel ticket locked the train. Okay, cancel ticket locked the train. Okay, now print ticket is cancelled. Now L1 dot release, L2 dot release. Now print cancellation is cancellation process is done, right? So basically couple of modules here, because you whenever you apply, see, this is a real time example also. In fact, our concept of websites are following the threading concept. What happens is so let me complete and explain. T1 equals to thread. So there is no thread classes here. Actually, if you see, we are directly implementing a couple of methods. Okay, so these we are making them to execute in the form of thread. Okay, so thread class is getting executed. So first thread class should execute book ticket. So target is book ticket, and now next thread is, both methods should execute in the form of thread. Okay, cancel ticket. Right now t1 dot start, t2 dot start. Okay, so you see here, when t1 dot start happens, okay, so book ticket is going to execute. Book ticket L1 dot lock acquire, and these steps has started executing. Okay, now when T2 dot start occurs, you know L2 dot lock acquire. Okay, see, L2 has already acquired lock on book tickets, and then immediately L2 is also trying to acquire lock on cancel tickets. Okay, please observe. Now let me see, only one point you have to observe here is L1 applied lock on L1 applied lock some resource on some resource, and now L2 applied lock on some resource, and again L2 is trying to apply lock on canceling ticket. Okay, so you observe the output, you will get to understand. See, book ticket locked the train, cancel ticket locked the compartment. Book ticket wants to lock on compartment, and cancel ticket wants to lock on train. Are you understanding? If you really look for, above method is wanting to apply lock on compartment, and below method is wanting to apply lock on train. So both of them are now into waiting mode. So because you have not released above have not released the compartment, and below have not released the train. So both are ending up in deadlock situation. That's the reason program all steps have not executed. At least if you see that program all steps have not executed, right? So booking ticket is done, canceling process is done, those steps have not executed, right? Because lock is cancel canceling of application is not happening, and booking of ticket is not happening in both the resources, because the way how you have applied lock is one, yeah, applied lock on resource, at the same time immediately you are the same lock you are trying to apply in cancel ticket also. So this is not the viable concept. So sir, what is the viable concept then? How to avoid the deadlock situation is very simple. Okay, let me enlarge this. See, avoiding deadlock. Okay, so first of all, what you have to understand is there is no special concept or technique to avoid deadlock, right? So we manually ensure of giving logic properly. Okay, we manually ensure of giving logic properly as a developer. Okay, so we should ensure of there is no clash between the thread execution. There is no say dependency, like one after the other log should get execute, release and acquire. Okay, so you only have to ensure of giving the proper code. That is what it says. Okay, so couple of points. There is no specific solution for to avoid deadlock. it depends on the logic used by developer in the program. Okay, right? Developer should design his program in such a way that deadlock should not occur. He has to ensure that deadlock should not occur. That's it. So point is, you only have to ensure of deadlock should not occur in the program, right? So you see, I am rewriting the entire program. Okay, I am rewriting the entire program. Okay, so control A, control C, control N, control V, control S. Okay, so my thread 9. Okay, now this is say deadlock avoiding. Okay, no deadlock, no deadlock. Okay, so no deadlock. So what you are doing here is, right, so first you apply lock, you release, you apply internal lock. Okay, you release internal lock and then release external lock. And while coming to cancel ticket also, first apply lock, cancel and compartment, and come to train and cancel your ticket, and then you release your train, and then you release your compartment. Okay, so simple guys, what the point here is, you see, booking fellow has to first apply lock on train. Okay, apply lock on train. Okay, and coming inside, apply lock on compartment. Okay, and book the ticket and go and so release your compartment and release your train and get out. Okay, so this is what booking. Now canceling fellow first apply lock on compartment. Okay, and then he has to come inside a train module, and then here he has to say that, yeah, this is ticket is available now. Okay, right? So that's how that it is. You have to first go into the compartment, and then you have to cancel your ticket, and then you have to come into the train module, and you have to say that this ticket is available, right? So instead of you are applying booking ticket, applying the lock on train, and compartment ticket also applying lock on train, that is not possible, is what I am trying to tell. Okay, you see the uh, I will execute this program, you'll understand. Okay, control S, one second, control S, now run module. Now you see, book ticket locked the train, book ticket wants to lock on compartment, locked the compartment, ticket is booked, booking ticket process is done, right? Now cancel ticket. So as long as cancel ticket, book ticket is happening, cancel ticket should not execute. That is what the point, end of day, right? So once booking ticket is been done, all locks are released, then only cancel ticket should start execution. Am I right or wrong? One after the other execution is happens in real time. Like if you go to IRCTC, or if you go to any other travel websites, if you are booking a ticket. Okay, so even that's the reason sometimes what happens, even if you book ticket, money gets deduct, and then your ticket is not booked properly, that they say that sorry, your booking has not done. So what happens, to ensure the consistency, acid properties of DBMS, to ensure the consistency, money will get back to your account in 24 hours of time or 3 working days, something like that. Okay, so sometimes both things happens, but it's all like time consuming delay process. Okay, anyways, so I hope concept of deadlock is understood for you. This is very very important in terms of operating system than in your Python. So but anyways, this concept is same everywhere, right? I expect that you call, you expect that I call. Just imagine this kind of example. Now what the change I have done is like 1 2 2 1 1 2 2 1. Imagine. Okay, second one is 1 2 2 1 1 2 2 1. First one was not 1 2 2 1 1 2 2 1. Just an easier note I'm trying to telling you. So let's proceed with further concept. Okay, daemon threats. Okay, what do you mean by daemon threats? So this simple concept, thread which is under execution for continuously is called daemon thread. Okay, so sometimes we need to we need threads to execute. We need threads to run continuously in memory. Okay, so such threads are called, okay, memory. Wait. Okay, so like example, see, you have to browse, right? So internet server that runs continuously, right? So and it helps people who are browsing at any point in time. Am I right or wrong? So such sort of threads has to execute continuously. Okay, so internet server that runs continuously and caters the need needs of the client. Okay, so god knows at what point in time who will ask what question. All the time your thread IP thread must be up and running. Okay, so another example, you see, I told you Python interpreter garbage collector is one of the thread in Python interpreter. What is the use of garbage collector? It always has to be on to ensure of your objects deleting from the memory which are unused. Correct. So such objects mean the objects which are not in use, your garbage collector always has to keep an eye and it has to free the space, means it has to delete it, right? So garbage collector that runs continuously and deletes the unused objects from the memory, right? Okay, so such threads are called daemon threads. Okay, so you will come across this daemon threads in a DevOps concept. Okay, um, your container Docker concept, whenever you start exploring those concepts. Okay, right? Okay, so basically how we can make a thread as daemon thread means, so syntax of it is, okay, so t1 dot daemon is equals to true. The moment when you make like this, okay, so what happens, set the property as true to make as daemon thread. So basically your thread is, you made your t thread as daemon thread. So you are ensuring that it executes continuously. It means you are making it available for all time. Okay. So our t dot set daemon is true. So this is also another way. Make t as making t as daemon thread. Okay. Right. Okay. So fine. Uh, let's proceed with the final concept. So daemon thread is like just a thread which is under continuous execution. That's it. Let's proceed with the one last concept on threads. Actually, this I suppose I should discuss in the first, but I don't usually do that. I wanted to do that at last. Thread life cycle. Okay, so how basically our thread gets executed. Okay, so you see, whenever there are some methods of thread class which you have to understand. Okay, so let me first go ahead and explain them. This is the last concept in our threads. So whenever a new thread is taking birth, okay, so we call it as like this is a new state, right? New state or birth state. Okay, and this birth state we have to push it to the next level, that is ready state, and ready state to running state to waiting state to one second, let me close the right side window. Okay, so waiting state to dead state. Okay, so just take this diagram, connect all these things. Okay, I'll explain what happens and how it happens. So from waiting state to, okay, and by the way, directions let me try to give. So birth state to ready state it will come, ready state to running state it will go, running state to dead state it will go. Right? Sometimes if you suspend thread execution, it will come to waiting state, and from waiting state to it will come to ready state, and it will come to it will from ready state to it will go to running state. So let me name these things. So ready, your thread is running, your thread is waiting, your thread is dead state. Okay, fine. So a newly birth taken thread, when it will go to ready and run, means you have to call the start method. When you call start method, then only your run method gets execute. You should not call run method directly. The first and foremost method which you have to touch in the thread is start method. You call start, automatically your threads are being arranged in a line, and they are into ready state, and they are ready to listen from the instructions of the operating system, and according to the, so they're like forwarded for scheduling. So when operating system schedules the thread execution, automatically your thread executes likewise. Okay, so you see, scheduling, whenever scheduling time occurs, automatically your thread gets execute. Okay. Now, so you remember we did time dot sleep when 1 to 50 after executing 50 10 seconds, like tortoise and rabbit story yesterday we were pointing out. So your thread has to sleep for some 10 seconds, right? So whenever you apply sleep, thread will stop the execution, it will stop the running, and from run it will move to waiting state. So the T1 was waiting for 10 seconds, right? Just stopped execution for 10 seconds yesterday, so that was in waiting state. Now after 10 seconds, what happens is it will come and stand in queue, and operating system has to schedule the time of execution of that thread, and operating system says yes, you go and execute, then it will come and fall in the run state. So that's where 51 to 100 got executed yesterday for us. Understood? So once if waiting time is over, we have to move here, right? Once if waiting time is over, we have to move here. Understood? Okay, waiting time is over. We have to move from waiting to ready, and then ready to run, and then after execution is over, after execution is over, we move to dead state. We move to dead state. So this is called your thread execution. This is called your thread life cycle. Okay, birth state to ready state to run state to dead state, or birth state to ready state to run state to waiting state to ready state to run state to dead state. Thread life cycle. Okay, right? Taken this. So try to write down some points. I hope, see, new birth start. I hope you are done. So this is good enough for you to take. Let me write down some points here. And these points, with these points, we are going to end the concept of multi-threading. So creating the object of a class which is overwriting a run method of thread class is known as creating a thread. Correct? Is known as creating a thread. Right. Whenever thread is created, then we call thread as in new state or birth state. Okay, new state. Right. Whenever we call the start method, okay, this is like life cycle I'm trying to explain. Method on the new state threads, then those threads will be forwarded to forwarded for scheduling. I told you, right? So operating system will only ensure of executing these threads. Okay, so right, the threads which are forwarded for scheduling known as ready state threads. Ready state threads. Okay. Whenever scheduling time occurs, ready state threads ready state thread start execution. Ready state thread start execution. Whenever sleep function is called on thread, whenever sleep function is called on running state thread, then immediately those threads will go into waiting state. The threads which are in waiting state, which are the threads which are waiting will send to wait state and called as waiting state threads. Okay, so whenever waiting time is over or specified thread execution is over, immediately waiting state threads are waiting state threads are forwarded for scheduling again. Okay, if running state threads execution if running state thread execution is over, then immediately those threads execution will be terminated. Those threads execution will be terminated. The threads which execution is terminated is known as dead state threads. Okay, so whatever I have discussed explaining the life cycle, like I have given in terms of wording, that's the reason you see many points, but it's a easy way to understand, right? Not a big concept. So basically start from ready for scheduling, getting into run state, and from there on exiting, that is dead state. If there is abort, like if there is sleeping of your thread suspension, thread execution, you're stopping, then you have to push that thread into waiting state. So wait state threads we call, and from there on, once that suspension is over, then again those will come back to ready state and followed by run and then dead state. So this is what life cycle of thread. Okay. Okay. So With this, we are stopping for today.